Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Okay, so you had enough time to explore. So now we are ready for page 8. On page 8, we're supposed to write here pin. That's right. On page 8, we wanna do benefits, awards.
7 was supposed to be the pain solved or accomplishments?
The accomplished supposed to be on page 8. The page 7 supposed to be the pain solved. If you mangle both of them together, it's very fine. If you did anything else, it's okay too. But if you want to look at page 8, we would like to see the same structure. We would like to see awards and benefits. So what did you achieve in each one of these branches? Okay. So what did you achieve? What are the benefits did you bring to customers?
Why do we need to split them?
Because when you
brainstorm, you kind of have to have a resolution to your pain.
When you brainstorm about pain, and when you brainstorm from pleasure perspective, you may have different data points. That's it.
Because now I'm confused. So were these pains the pains that I solved, or are these the pains that I encountered?
These are the pains you are encounter, and the pain you are solved to your customers. The next one is what are the benefit you put to your customers. So approaching the same timeline in a two different approaches will help you extract more data points. So if you did both of them in one shot, it's okay, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Okay?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't get confused. If you did it in one way or the other, it does not matter.
Okay.
The whole idea is I want to go back with a magnifying lens, juggle my memory, juggle my internet, juggle my annual report, juggle my financial statement, look at my diary, look at my calendar, look at whatever you have as resources. And the whole idea is to figure out what are the wow factors, who are people you served, and how you make them achieving some specific results. Okay?
And if it's an award, what's that? Plus VE?
Positive, like it's a positive aspect of it, like kind of reward, kind of acknowledgement, like did you get the best employee award, the best service award? Have you been mentioned in one of from the stage? Have you like any benefit, positive aspect of what you can do? Does this make sense?
Yeah, I kind of did the same like Mike. I mixed everything up, but yeah. What you mentioned is
this is a framework for extracting information. There is no right, there is no wrong.
No.
Okay? There is no right, there is no wrong. The idea is you can extract information to come and say, over the last 16 years of experience, I achieved 1, 2, 3, 4. I help people to solve these particular pain points. And I have the toolbox. Do you have the same pain point? Yes. Do you like to be like this achiever? Yes. Will you allow me to use my toolbox? That's it. Make sense? Yeah. And we found out for Mike a very good discovery that Mike can, and he was doing. So if you are doing the courses for real estate investors, you may need a testimonial from Randy. And I think Randy will do it for you. That's right, because we know Randy is a very nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you are doing it for specifics, there are some elements. Remember, we have likeness, authority, social proof. One of the social proof is testimonials. Who are the possible individuals who give you testimonials? Any questions at this level? Do you want to spend more time, or you got the point? You want to do it home?
Yeah, we got the point.
You got the point?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you start to write the benefits, you don't need to match it one by one. You just basically, if you didn't even have anything here, it's okay too, okay? If you had few branches covered, it's okay too. The more you have, the better you have. And by the way, when you go around and you talk in that, there's a validation level, people may give you some information which you forgot, so you can go and write it down. So if you have an old group, for example, you may call them up, like, wow, do you remember what did we do together? Or like, what do you remember? Like, there is no, for exploration, there is no limitation.
Right.
Okay? Any questions? Okay. So if we move to page 9, page 9 will give you a little bit of organization, because on page 9, we will ask specific questions. The 5 wow questions. We will ask for each branch. So it's the same concept. I have a quad tree. Each branch will cover a quarter or a year or whatever time frame you would like to get. And you should be able to answer 5 questions. Who did you serve? What did you serve with? When? Where? And the last one is supposed to be why, not what. So the last one is supposed to be why.
Who did I serve? What did I serve?
What did you serve with? Or what did you achieve? And these are written in the very small lines here on the top.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So the last one is supposed to be why, not what. The last one is supposed to be why.
Okay.
So this is 5 questions. We call them the 5 W's. Law is not because my name starts with W, but you can ask my name too, it be the 6W law. If you remember this, you have to remember one important one. What you always wrote when I ask you on page 2, what did you write? You write the wrong answer. You wrote the H question.
What?
Marcel and Yasser, when we ask
Oh,
about
yeah.
what your answer was
Which question?
on page 2.
Yeah.
Majority of the what answers became how? Page 4, yeah.
Yeah.
So majority of the what answer was what? Was how you can do it, not what exactly you did. Because you are a process-oriented guy. Process-oriented will always map to whatever they feel comfort with. So if you remember, Marcel answers was always are very good answers for a question asked, how did you serve your client? Not what did you serve your client with. Okay?
Why do your customer buy or
So what did you answer?
for describing the pain point, it was business transformation and turnaround. So I think this is what, right? Not how. But then
No. Business transformation turnaround is what is how. It's not what.
no, I think the how came in the second one, which is why do your customer buy and why you were hired. Then I started to
What did you answer?
Yeah, the turned underperforming business and here blah blah blah.
So this is how.
Yeah.
So I always repeat this. Mike did not do it this time because Mike have been trained long enough here to got out of his comfort zone. So if you go tonight or this weekend with your friends who are process oriented, ask them a question with what and watch for their answers. Everybody will describe how you can do it, not what you do. Mariana was a good example of doing the what, because Mariana is a heart first, relationship first lady. So when I say, what do you do? She will not tell you, I give you a process for. She will tell you, you will recover, you will go beyond your limiting beliefs.
De-stress.
Yeah, blockage, I remove your blockage. I remove is still how, but it's not, she does not talk about psyche or energy or how it can be done. She explains what she is doing in the same verbiage of what is it. Do you understand the difference?
I'm trying to think.
Mariana, can you share with us what did you answer?
Why are you
page
hired?
4?
Yeah, why are you hired, contracted or retained?
On page 4.
Why are you?
Whatever answers you have, just share with us.
Helping you with overcoming poor relationships.
She never said how she is doing it. What she's doing is you help you to overcome personal poor relationship.
Or creating sustainable, loving relationships.
She didn't.
What is the difference between the?
How you do it,
sensor
Mariam?
and-
How you do it, Mariam?
Yeah.
Can you explain to him how you do this?
How I do it is
Yes.
by finding the triggers in the relationship.
And then what you do next?
And I have processes to remove the triggers, replacing them with, and also replacing limiting beliefs with supportive beliefs, replacing past programming with up-to-date programming,
Right.
And what's the name of this tool?
Psyche.
Because I know what she's doing, so that's why I'm trying to explain here. We always tend of how we can do things, not why or not what can you achieve with it, not what the benefits. We always, because we are a doer or we are a process, so we always get to lean toward answering how, not what.
Answering the steps to get there.
The steps to get there, not what we do. Remember when I talked about the naked pain point, the naked pain in any business was what?
No, I understand. And I'm just trying to figure out, because I'm reading here for the why. Turning underperforming business units to tier 1. So is this how or what?
This is how,
This is
in
how.
my opinion.
Say that again?
Turning underperforming business units to tier 1.
That's not a how.
Is this a how?
What is the benefit from that?
No, this is why you're hired. Or
Yeah,
retained.
what is the benefit for that?
So and then later I started to tell, clearing the vision and the purpose.
This all house.
Yeah, correct.
So what is the benefit of this? Why are you hired? Is to make them more profitable.
Moving towards a tier 1.
yeah, which is
position.
tier 1.
Yes, but is not underperforming. Why did you assume they are underperforming?
No, why I'm hired because.
Why do you assume they are underperforming?
No, not assume. It's measured.
No.
It's not
If you come to
profitable.
me and say, why will I hire you? And you say, because I can turn underperforming.
Yeah,
I tell you, oh, you know what? I don't have any underperforming units.
outperform your competition, right? This
You
is
know,
what's
I don't have. So
So you might want to say to outperform instead of underperforming.
instead of just to outperform competition.
Yeah, because then you're taking them from an unknown place to a better place, whereas in your first statement you're making an assumption
That they are underperforming.
that they're underperforming,
That's a good one.
right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So
you know, so and why I'm hired to empower you to make more money. That's it.
Right.
Make more money by turning switches where I can increase the performance. It's just I want to make sure you understand. Like,
I don't understand any of that now. That doesn't blend in with what we've already done.
remember, this is not blending. This is our alternative way of.
Okay, so how do I look at this page now?
So I will go on the same timeline. Okay.
Yeah.
There are extra pages here if you wanna.
Okay. I'll do that later.
Okay.
I think.
And I will go here in which timeline? 2018 to 20.
Sure.
15?
15, 18.
So I will go to 2018 and say, who did I serve in quarter 1, 2018?
Who do I identify as who I served? How do I identify them?
Whoever you want
Do I
to
identify them by name? Do I identify them by category?
However you wanna
Do I
ide-
identify them by
however-
trade?
However you want to identify them. However you want to identify them.
What would serve me best?
What serve you best if you have lack of clarity, the more details.
So I could say I served 40 tradespeople, 50 consultants.
You can say this, and you
30
can,
doctors.
and if you have enough paper and enough computer, you can do this on computer as well.
Yeah.
You say I serve Tim, Tom, John, Janice, Adam, James. And what did I serve them with? I did for them bookkeeping and accounting. I did for this bookkeeping. I did for this accounting. And when did I serve them? Close to year end. Where did I serve them? Maybe not relevant because all of them are Calgary, so this might not be relevant. Why did I serve them? Because they are existing clients, or because they approach me for the trial, or they approach me because they have emergency. Okay? And all what you need to get is data point.
So trades, category, sole props, corporations. So that's who I served. What's the next one? What did I serve them?
What did you serve them with?
Like bookkeeping, accounting,
You can do that, yeah?
or more detail than that?
You can the more details, the better.
Well, how would I get more detail than that?
Did you serve any of them with financial priorities and financial plannings and making critical decisions for their own business to grow to the next level? Did you help any of them increasing their sales because they can reallocate their money?
Yeah, you're right. You keep adding dimensions. It's the same story, but
It's
you
the
keep
same
looking at
story,
it.
and the story has to map to the ears and the eyes of the audience.
That makes sense. I like.
So what's the next one? When did I?
When did you serve them? Like,
Well, aren't we already putting that in the quarters?
for your example, yes, but for some other people, they may come and say when they were close to suicide, when they were being in bankruptcy, when
Okay.
there is no questions. That's right. It's just the words.
Right.
You can frame the question, and you can have multiple wins. You can have multiple whys. Why did they come to you?
So when did I serve? Maybe at startup, at growth,
When did you serve them from business level?
at family start, because they were planning a family.
Okay, at what they call it, the one after your life, what they call it, succession.
Yeah.
Arrangement for succession. That's right. There are so many people that just do succession. You were doing that. You want to do succession.
Succession planning. Yeah.
Succession planning. That's right. So how many people did you serve? And if you want to do succession planning, there's a side note here. Can you tell me in the last 4 years how many people did you serve? With what did you serve? And make when at ready for succession planning. Do you have answer for that?
Yeah.
So who did you serve and with what?
Now, whom did I serve? Of course, the common one would be my employer, but I would hear more about the clients that I served in every year or every.
So
quarter.
how many succession planning did you do?
Always.
How many?
In every.
How many? How many is the count?
As a count.
Yeah, how many? How many succession plan have you been involved with?
In every business unit, so I would say in about 9. I created
About 9.
succession plans.
So Philip Settler, one of my friends on Facebook. Philip, all business is succession planning. It is all what he's doing for living.
Only.
Only.
Wow.
And he will do between 6 to 9 clients a month.
Right.
Okay. and he works like 7 to 8 months a year. So if you come and say here, I did it for 9, and I have somebody who's doing 6 a month, time 8, 48 a year, and I know him for like 5 years now or 4 years. So roughly 50 a year, and time 4 will be 200. Will I go to you or I go to Philip?
Oh, for him. Clear.
So do you understand now why
we need to get that.
the more details here can slow down the enthusiasm about new business, or can come and say, okay, now can I look with a bigger magnifier and figure out, is there any other service I did which may be related to expand the authority?
Not clear. No, the perspective of the succession plan, for example, when I did it, this is not my job. I'm the business owner, and I want to make sure that there's a continuity in the business. So I don't want to, when Mike leaves, oops, there's nobody can take care of the business and so on. So it's sort of making sure that the business is sustainable, and this is the only way as well for me to move in my career. If I
But-
don't prepare a succession, I'm stuck,
Yeah.
right? So that's the way I look at it, not to make money out of it. It's,
So, we are here
it's
about
like a process.
we are here about building sustainable business, which means in nutshell makes money. Okay.
Right.
So if you do this, and this will be an extra on the top of what you do, or this will be a special business, you can evaluate it once you know details. So
Correct.
for my question is, where should I stop? And what kind of details I need? If you have no visibility whatsoever, if you have no clarity, just start to write and see how much of this you can do. So if you can come across everybody you served over the last 4 years, everybody by name, and what did you do for each one, when, where, and why, you will see a cluster of information which can tell you exactly how you can proceed forward.
Oh yeah.
Because if I met in my life, like if I met last 4 years, 20,000 people, for example, and I can name the 20,000 people, assume this mic, okay? Okay? And I was making sure like maybe 4,000 of them will have fun and enjoy their life with their kids. So I can be the guy who talk about kids-parent relationship. That's right. If I didn't have teaching time, I will not be able to continue as an instructor teacher. If I don't have facilitation time, I will not be continuing as, because I can identify the gaps now.
Right.
Did you get the point?
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I'm trying to visualize it as I mentioned too. You keep creating different dimensions, and now we are looking at like sort of a 3D or 4D profile of what we are, able to do as a wow thing versus, trying to, and this will be magnified and clarified through this exercise. After this, we can clearly see where is really the big strength, the big wow, which is very fun. Yeah.
So how do we continue with the questions?
Sure.
So if we're staying, where did I serve them?
So where do you serve them? An approach for where will be at their offices. I serve them on Zoom. I serve them online. I serve them in person. I serve them in my office. This is on where. For my loved, close to my heart, Mariana, she will say, I taught them in Belgium, in Germany, in Saskatchewan. She went to Halifax. Where else did you go last?
Creston, BC.
Creston, BC, and some weird places in the US.
Okay.
So she can easily put a map on her bio and say, here is the world map, and here is the 30 some locations over the 20 years I provided courses.
So now she's an international trainer.
Private sessions over Skype, and I have clients like in LA and in England and in Iran.
Yeah, so now you have credibility as an international trainer.
Yeah.
So do you have international trainer cross of your name? Do you have serving customers in 23 countries?
Put out from my name.
Do you have, now the question also will be is this get me more credibility or not? The point is, if you want to stand out of the crowd,
Mhm.
there will be an exercise. We'll do it immediately after this. You have to come and tell me. I will not point out, say, yeah, you know what? I seen you in 20 some countries. Well, so I know now you are. People will not. People are ignorant to who we are and how we can serve them. Did you guys get value from today so far?
What's the why? We haven't got to the why.
I will come to it. But did you get the value from today? Well, this is something different than a brand new exercise for anybody and everybody. There was 4 people supposed to come, and they didn't come because they were not putting the right value to what they will see. That's right. So, why it could be? Why did you serve them? Why did they select you? And why did they come to you? And why can also be related to their pain point. That's right. So, for example, if somebody will come say, because I was the local guy for them, it's a very awesome discovery. It means what? If people come to you because you are the local guy, it means what? You either franchise your business to be localized in different cities, or what? Or only serve your local community and forget about the internet online reach. Does this make sense?
So, I don't know, does that diminish or add to my value? Like, I do complimentary sessions, so I'm the only instructor who is giving complimentary sessions, and after a session people see so much value that they engage me in paid sessions.
And this will be good if you are teaching instructors how to create their business. But if you are in front of your regular clients who may pay you for the first one,
Yeah,
it will actually reduce their appetite to pay you because they know that you can give free stuff.
yeah.
So you can pay it either way. But the issue is, this is about awareness and self-awareness of what did happen in your life. This does not tell you anything other than, do you know what did you do and how you serve people in the last 4 years, 16 years, 32 years? Do you know? Can you point out? So, for example, if I ask you, Yasser, can you go back and get 20 testimonials on digital oil field? Whatever he wants to do as business would be called digital oil field, which basically automated the field readings on cheap internet dashboard. That's it, They call it digital oil field. That's right. This is what you do. That's right.
What?
Automating the reading.
Just lower the cost. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
and
over
have it
the-
on a digital
Yeah.
on a dashboard on the computer. So if I ask you, and can you go and get 20 testimonials on how your digital oil field experience impacted people's life? Do you have the names of people who can give you these testimonials?
Yeah, I can get one.
Do you have name and address and phone number and emails? So if
I got names and emails. No.
or names and emails.
Yeah.
And can we write pain point, defining moment, happy outcome, and they will agree to it?
You hire companies to do this exercise.
If you can afford to hire companies, hire our company and we'll do it for you.
No, but by the way, we used to run surveys during this because it was a new thing. Again, part of a change management, so we'd hire really a third-party company and run surveys.
But remember, now you are a consultant and you don't have enough money to survive beyond the next 7 or 10 months of your life. So you cannot afford hiring so many people.
No, I understand, but no, I get your point about the testimonials and
The point is not to get my point. The point is not to get my point. The point is to execute on these points. Because application of knowledge and the information will get you to transformation.
Yeah.
Just getting my point is like fantasy. I'm not like a Disney show. We are not running Disney show here. We get people to work, so we don't run into fantasy. We really run into how you can apply it. So I hope by the end of right now, you discovered at least 5 entry point or data point about your past that you can serve your current customer or new customer segment with. And I know for Mike, I discovered with him the real estate segment, investor segment. It can be a potential. But for all of you, do you have the same? Did you have the same discovery? Did you discover new point where you can go and serve your customer with? Yes or no?
And for me, I still need to do the exercise, and it's a serious safety one. It's not.
In the little effort did you do, did you discover new things?
Yeah, I did. I did discover new things of, thing, lots of things that I totally forgot about.
Okay.
I figured this out, but I don't want to confuse that with what I want to do. I really want to explore what I am doing. I don't want to get, biased by, okay, I want to do this, so I start to twist all myself towards what I want to do, because it might not be right.
You can do it either or. You can do it a full-blown discovery, and you can discover every single aspect of your life. There are six aspects of your life you can discover, and you can write them down here. This is how we used to run these workshops before. The other things is you can tailor it toward close business, because at the end of the day you don't have all the luxury. You don't have the luxury of having all the time in your life to spend on this exercise, right? It has to be like 2-3 days, week, 2 weeks. That's it, and you have to move on because there's so many aspects in the business. Any questions so far? So, do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. So all what we cover right now was distill. So distill means I looked deeper and I was able to discover few things where I can go reflect them on my bio. So what we do from distill, we do 2 steps. We do the following step will be validate. And on the validate, you should be able to validate this discovery. And the way to validate is to go to your audience and do it. And ask them if they can validate this authority.
Is
So-
it the same thing like the testimonials?
Testimonials is one aspect, but you can go on social media or Twitter. If you run Twitter account, you say, oh, I discovered that I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you guys like it? I found out I did this exercise and I found out that I solved the following pains for these customers. Do you have the same pain? Okay. You can call up your previous colleagues, with your you call them former colleagues, former employer, former clients, and ask them, do you agree that I solved this pain for you? Can you give me a testimonial? So the validation, go ahead.
The first part was the document. Where was it distilled?
Distill was all the trees, all the structures and the trees and the crossing. This was the distill, where we look more into the document. We want to review it against specific parameters. So the distill was all from page 5 till page 9.
Essentially, weren't we documenting everything?
No, we document everything in the first page. This is what you document. That's right. This is what you.
I don't know what your intent was. I mean, I'm not following your
So
thinking.
on page 4, you document what you know.
So only page 4 was documentation. That's
Documentation, that's it. This is a starting point. We took this documentation through a magnifying glass, and then now we want to say the outcome of this magnifying glass will be what? Will be that you now have this authority. So you need to validate by asking your audience, ask your follower on LinkedIn, share with your authority, write down your bio or your about, and ask people to comment on it. So you say, I helped, I worked with, I empowered so and so, and we have the power words. We have some other exercises where we just like we don't use the word help. Help is for free. We always empower people, or if you there's 3,000 power words we use. So if you can script this based on this exercise, can you share it with your followers? Can you share it with people who knew you? Can you share it with people who knows about your background?
So share my achievements with my followers.
With my followers, and get them to comment on it and to verify. Now, when you
isn't
do
that a
th-
danger of exposing yourself? If I say a bio and say, "How do you like me so far?" You know, how do you get someone to validate on LinkedIn? They'll say, "Hey, I disagree. You're no expert in financial planning."
it's good because you can always make it private post and nobody else will see it, but you will know the impact on it. That's right.
No idea what you're talking about. I don't understand how you want me to validate
So
without exposing myself.
what do you mean exposing? This is our achievement. This is our achievement. Right now we talk about authorities, that's right? So this is your authority. Okay?
Yeah, but you're asking other people to comment to get the validation.
I'm asking to validate this because if I share it with other people and they get validation that this is an authority, you will now be on the right track of building this authority. So when I come and say, I discovered that I helped so many companies to achieve so much money, give me your thoughts, or what do you think? Or I want to share with you the news. That's I discovered 1, 2, 3, and just leave it blank. You will find so many people will say, congrats, that's awesome, that's good. We will find some people will say that's bullshit. So to give you an example, I had a book which is a translation of a religious book. And this book had been acquired by a not-for-profit organization. They print about 1 million copies a year from 1999. Full stop. So my book, when I want to bring it to market, I have evidence of selling 10 million copies. People don't accept it. I didn't make money out of the 10 million copies because when I gave them the rights, it was just, we were always blinded by being good citizens, right? So when I go and say I have this book with a sticker of 10 million copies on it, people will just say this is too much. It's too much of an achievement. Because nobody can focus on and see that this is a not-for-profit organization. They donate this book for every visitor coming to this country, and the English speaker will get 1 copy each. Full stop. And there's about 1 million visitors a year out of the 9 millions come to this country every year. So I basically pulled out this authority from everything I'm doing. This is how it can be something which people don't accept it. When Yasser, for example, will come and say, I help these companies and we will grow from 30 to 48% or whatever numbers, and his colleague will say, yeah, everybody of us will do this. Or somebody will say, oh, what's new here? I just did this last year. It always gives you him an alarm of what? That this is not a wow factor to approach to get these people in. That's right?
Yeah.
So what we may agree on it here in the room as a wow factor
Might not be.
might not be for your followers.
Right.
Now, who's the customer paying your money? You money. It's part of your follower, not us. So this is why we say you need to validate it in a way that people will accept this authority.
Yeah, but my gut point, when you do this, for example, you get 1,000 people in your LinkedIn network, and when you put this, I increase the market share from this to that, and a couple of guys say, you know what, nothing special.
It's good. You can always take the post and make it private.
No, but let me just tell you, 1 or 2 out of 1,000 say, nothing special. Maybe the 900 say, congratulations, so on. But guess what? This 1 or 2 may explode it to the other 900.
Yep.
Because they may think, it's really, Yasser is nothing special about it. How can we recover from this?
Okay. I want to answer this question in 16 different ways.
Pick one. Just pick one.
I don't think we have enough time. Stick to two.
Okay. I had this call from somebody I know 28 years ago, and she called me and she said, "You are very exposed and you have to fear for your safety because
For your safety.
safety, because we had a friend of ours have been kidnapped because he's one of the few billionaires in his own country, and he was kidnapped from his own hotel. So in some cultures and some countries, people don't expose themselves so much over the internet. However, in Canada right now, if you wanna sell to people, social media became one of our selling methodologies. So people will know now about my new cat, they know about my wife, they know about my sisters, they know about my mom, they know about my son, they know about all the problems I have, we know who you make it share with her and where did you eat yesterday. I know that, that's right.
Yeah.
Because he will go there, and this guy has a very big heart. Like if you follow him, you see like every week he's in a event, he's here with the Stampeders, he's here with there. So if you want to stand as a consultant in this era in North America, you must reduce your cautious of being exposed. I just had a fight with somebody because I was telling him, someone came and said, "This is people killing people and people while they are praying on what happened yesterday." So I said, killing people is a sin in all belief systems. So this guy said, "No, you Muslims will have married with the Virgin in the after." I said like, yeah, and Trump supporters will also marry. Radical Trump supporters will also marry from the Virgin. That's why they killed in the synagogue yesterday. So you must be able to tolerate and accommodate this 20%. There are 80% here. Even some of these radical people, again, very racist people against us, they still reach out to me and invite me to their house and their events because they know me. They know me because I'm having this 80%. It's only this 20% when they come, you will find these people actually are defending my positions, are defending me. One time I bought a quote which was vague, and Greg Chandler.
Craig, yeah.
Yeah, Greg actually came and was very tick, and these other people of his party said, no, this guy is good. We know him. He's moderate. There's something actually about it. You overread it and stuff like that. So if you are in a business of being a consultant as your own and you want to go hang around, you are exposed for people to search you out over the internet because they search everybody else. You are exposed for being shredded over the internet, and you are exposed for your reputation over the internet.
Was that word shredded?
Shredded means like people will just slice
Okay,
you,
yeah, okay.
they shred you out. That's right.
I didn't understand the word. Okay.
So you have to accept this vulnerability.
Right.
If you are not into this business of helping people, it's great. You'll have the same vulnerability on LinkedIn and Oil Bro, and there are specific like we have Facebook and the Twitter and Instagram and the Pinterest for life-related people and consumer-related people. However, you have LinkedIn, Oil Bro. There are 6 different websites similar to Facebook, but for the professional matters. So if you come and say, I am a consultant and I'm doing this, where are your blogs? Where are your books? Where are your articles? Where are your documents? Where can I verify that you have this information?
Right.
So you need to take away from your mind 2 out of 800 or 900. You need to take out from your mind 20 out of 60.
Wow. Okay.
51% is more than enough.
Right.
I can always delete like I do mistakes, everybody's doing mistakes, and we go back and we delete the comments, that's it. And in one post, I actually went back and I liked the comment, so I edited the post to make it reflection, because if you don't do mistakes, you are not doing it.
Yeah,
Full stop.
exactly.
That's right. So this is a different mentality which we have to work upon a lot. Like mine, Mike is on Alignable. It's on I believe it's on LinkedIn. Maybe some people are on Kijiji. People are on Yelp. Like the restaurants I'm dealing with, they are all on Yelp and they have negative reviews, and you have to deal with it. But not the fear of having negative reviews does not stop them from being exposed, because this is a way to do business.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you you should validate it in a way or another, but what I'm sharing is, if you have your bio or you have your position, you can ask people to say, here is what I discovered about what I'm doing. Can you help me out with editing it? Can you help me out with how I can make it stronger, how I can make it better? Read their feedback. And you are the one running your business. We don't run your business. You are the one who make decisions, not us. Make sense?
Very valuable. Get on
So
this
you come
feedback.
from a different like people in your corporate world, they don't even attend LinkedIn if they are not looking for a job, because everybody will bombard them with requests to hire them. That's right. So people from the corporate world, when they come out, they say, "Okay, I want to switch jobs, so I will build my profile." I worked actually with a board of directors of some of my companies, and the new board came and said, "We must remove all the development team from the company website because we don't want the competitor to hire them." So you go back and remove your VP engineering and your because and as a startup company, you have like 17 to 40 individuals only. You are always proud of having here we have a CEO now, we have a COO, we have a CTO, we have a VP sales, we have a VP engineering, we have a VP quality assurance. We are proud. You say no. These people are technical team. They are very precious. If we post them online, our competitor will call them in the company phone number, or they will send them emails on the company email list and offer them what? Double your pay. So we don't want to lose them. They had a point. They had the power to remove them, but do I agree with them? No, I don't agree with them. That's right. So you can decide what you want to decide. I'm not here to decide or judge for anybody. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. So after validate, and the easiest way of validation, if you don't want to have online exposure, just have portals with your friends, or when you go with them for a coffee, and tell them, I have this exercise. If you mention when your brand is great, they can come again for us, or you can say, I have this exercise. Here is what I'm proposing for this. Give me your feedback, guys. When you validate, you do actually two things. Are you here to get really feedback?
So validation is just another method of exposure then.
So it's exposure. And when they like it, it means what? Appreciation. That's right?
Yeah.
And when they help you writing it, it means what? Commitment. That's right?
Yeah.
It also works out that you give them your authority, so they can recognize you. So if you start to ask for validation and people will like it, what the number did you mention, Yasser? What's the number did you mention?
Share?
No, the number of comments did you mention? You talked about 900 people like it and 2 don't like it.
And 2.
So this called what? Social proof.
Right.
That's right?
Yeah.
And when you ask them to come back to you urgency, so you can create the urgency, and when people will come back to you, what they predict you to do now?
Return the favor.
They will predict you to launch a business, that's right?
Right.
They are changing in their mind, what do you have? Because in this way, you will look for them consistent. You don't come and say, oh, hear me, guys. No. You ask them to develop it with you over 1 week. There are some individuals who will give a reward. There are some individuals who will say, you know what? If you will help me on my authority or on my bio to construct my book, I will be able to give you a copy of my book. One obvious question here will be is, do you know anybody who will benefit from my service? Here is my authority. This is who I am, what I did in my life, and this is the pain I'm solving. Do you know anybody who will benefit from that? You can prospect with that. So we can talk about what the value of validation. So validation first is exposure. The other one we call it is pre-selling. So I pre-sell myself. I pre-sell my business. I pre-sell. I say coming soon. There's something else coming soon. Make sense?
Yeah, the teaser.
The teaser, yeah, you can call it the teaser, that's right. And once you affirm this, any questions so far? Any questions? Once you you confirm your authority, you need to go to the fourth step. And the fourth step, we call it communicate. So how do we communicate our authority? How do we communicate our authority? What are the 5 ways to communicate our authority?
Five ways.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What are the 5 ways to communicate our authority?
What did Mike say?
5 ways
I
means
just asked him what he said. I was just
Okay.
confirming.
text, image, videos, hyperlinks, what was the first? And audio. These are the 5 ways to communicate your authority. What hyperlinks means? What hyperlinks means?
Ooh,
To resources, to
response to
What did you
blog-
get? What did you get in 2012? What did you say you got in 2012?
The Chamber of Commerce Volunteer of the Year Award.
Okay. Do you have links to the Chamber of Commerce where this award was mentioned? Do you have links to Global News or Calgary Herald, which is this? And if you have the links, please download them. Download the whole content, because most likely they will remove them away. Okay. So,
Yeah.
you know. So, are you interviewed on TV? If you talk about going to different shows, can you bring videos on? If you received awards, do you have images or photos of these awards?
Mhm.
So this can be images or photos, okay? Did you have audio about? Did you have been interviewed in radio? I have been on BBC a few times, so I have this audio record, so I can do them. So these are the 5 medias which you can use to articulate. So if you go back to your trees and you figure out from the tree what kind of authority, the second question to you is, can you locate videos or hyperlinks or anything where you can link it to people, to a third party, to validate this authority. Like for me, I have several awards, so I have photos. So quite often what I do is I will have like a recycling revive from my website where these images will go back from the years. So people will seamlessly see these photos and then they will congratulate me again, which is good. You know? So if you want to be top of mind, you can use this. And you can place them. You have a list from A to P. And if you identify a target audience on page 10, and the way to identify target audience will be on page 11, you can build an expert platform. Expert platform means what? It could be your website, it could be your LinkedIn, it could be your business website, it doesn't matter. But you need to be a place where it can be a speaker bureau profile. It can be anywhere where you can be identified as expert. You should also, because no matter what we talk about authority, people will hire consultants at a premium prices if the consultants will have what? Will have books. So you should be able to identify a book platform. You can optimize a book for effective promotion. You can prepare your expertise marketing assets. You can run pre-order campaigns if you like, or pre-purchase campaigns. You can get testimonials and reviews. You can launch and build buzz. You can run ebook and e-reports promotion. You can get more online exposure. You can spread the word on social media. You can host Q&A. So if you come and say, I'm an expert in a change management, or I'm an expert in digital field, or I'm an expert in energy healing, can you host a live Facebook Q&A on that? Okay. You can also create communities. So you can basically create groups on LinkedIn, Facebook, or you can create a physical community, and these communities will be able to describe and discuss what they do. So one of the interesting communities was around here was the Bitcoin communities. So there's an individual who wants to teach Bitcoin. A year ago, he started to have in the Zen, which the Zen lounge is, I believe it's in one of the casinos. And he's doing a weekly meetup for Bitcoins. 2 weeks ago, I was on the very first cryptocurrency and Bitcoin workshop. And he launched the very first and the only magazine in Canada on Bitcoins. And he keep teaching Bitcoins and get consultations. So he created a community on Bitcoins. He knew everybody knew him as the expert in Bitcoins. So this is an example of how you can create community. So you can create box sets, bundles. You can participate in live events. You can explore other marketing ideas. You can run a series of videos or tutorials on what you do. So if I pick up digital oil field, for example, Mariana doesn't know what digital oil field is. So can you launch a weekly info session of 1 hour describing different aspects of digital oil field? It's no different than all the PowerPoint presentation you did in your life. But you basically videotape it, and you want to have face to it or not, but you can run it as a PowerPoint slides. Mike is proposing and working on a short course to promote his business, right? So he will have a short course where it should establish him as the expert in what he's doing. And people can come by the short course and they can do what they do. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So I believe majority of you will have aspects of this. but the question is, does it have the right authority or not? Okay? Any questions so far? So this will lead to the page 11. If you describe your authority, I want you to quickly write down who are your paid customers. Who are the customers who will pay for this authority? So who are the customers who will pay for this authority?
That's the number one.
This is number one, yeah. Who are your customers?
Am I looking for an avatar?
Yep. And if you have an avatar and you have a customer, you are ahead of the game. That's right. And you should be able to confirm that the authority you extracted before will fit this avatar. Okay? So if you do the exercise and you cannot zero in on a customer, it means what? What does it mean? If I do this exercise, I
It means
go.
you haven't identified your ideal customer.
It means, yeah, you did not identify it, which means the next step will be what? Is to redo the whole exercise till you zero in on somebody who can buy from you. So who is the one who should see your authority? And you consider their feedback seriously. Is these customers here? I will just share with you an example to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. So I'm working with a startup company right now, and this startup company have been vetted by IBM, and have been vetted by a venture capital, which they will be willing to put few millions in this company. When the company got a mentor, 2 mentors assigned for them, and unfortunately I know both of them, and I was actually very close to be a partner with one of them, and for a good reason I didn't do it. And for the other guy, I know him from the community, and I will never ever work in him in my life. I know him for more than 21 years. Anyway, so one of the mentors took the company idea, and he went out and he asked 2 individuals who he trusted, because they built similar business in different domain. And the negative came so bad, like the feedback came to the extent that, you know what, you guys should just spend your time on something else. It will never work. Okay? And then, because I'm supposed to be prime on this business, I got the feedback, and my immediate reaction was, people need to understand how to ask the right question to the right people to get the right answer. So one of the feedback was, this is very tough to get, and people don't download these apps on their phones. And the reality is the establishment business has more than 200 users for their app already. So this company has no problem getting people downloading their apps, because they have a different structure of business where part of the people receiving the value is solely through the app. So the people, they download it for sure. So it was, you ask the wrong group with the wrong question, you get what? Wrong answers.
Wrong answers.
So who is the one who can tell you, wow, we love your authority and they want to buy from you? Who will be the ones? The ones who will pay you money. So the 900 example you have is good social proof. But do they pay you money?
Not necessarily.
So are they the right feedback for you?
It's a good point.
So when we go hang around with our loser friends, we become losers like them. So what I love is when I went to 40, what they call it, 45, option 45 or option 40. It's a group in Kirby Center. They do like option 45 or option 40. And all of them were oil and gas kicked out, trying to find job. And I was approached by someone to go to present my seminar over there, and I said yes. So as a good citizen, I go usually 1 or 2 events before the seminar to know the venue and know what the quality of the people, what kind of audio they use, like just to do my due diligence. And I can tell you, I was never ever in my life feeling negative and down outside this meeting. Everybody is complaining about no jobs, nothing can be done. They have these 1,000 CVs everywhere. Nobody's calling them back. Like I feel like is there anything better than just you guys sit here and whine and cry on the missed opportunities? Like, can we do something different? It was option 45. It's a group called option 45. It was so. What I found out is we go present in front of our family to practice our pitches, our sales presentation, and our families will never buy from us. Our family will, oh, it's awesome. You can say this without paper. You didn't get the point, my friend. The point is, can I take you through the sales process through my presentation? They will not get it. So the idea of page 11 is to get your perception into who do you listen to. You don't listen to everybody, because if you listen to everybody, you will get nowhere. So the best people to listen to will be my customer if I know them. So if we can go in around and say, okay, so who are your customers? Like, let's just go in this way. So yes, sir, who are your customers?
I would say small, medium EMPs, exploration and production, oilfield service companies, energy investment PEs and banks, startups in energy and digital oilfield domain. Those will be my
Okay.
list.
Okay. Mariana, who's your customers?
I don't know.
Why?
Well, people with issues, but I can have an answer like that. Also, no, I don't know.
So you need to zero down who are your customers. Who are the
Yeah.
people who came to buy from you?
Yeah.
So if they are grandma, you will sell to grandma. If they are people in divorce, you sell. So you have to be able to pick up who are your customers who need to read your bio.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, who are your customers?
My customers are business owners wishing to identify business markers and grow their business wealth.
Okay. And what about the real estate investors?
Well, they're the ones that want to know their numbers. Are they being profitable in their investment?
Okay.
And those are the business markers, right?
Yeah.
Profitability versus expenses.
But the question will be: does your customers identify themselves with this language?
No.
So you need to identify your customers
In their
with the language. So if I stand in a room of 10,000 people and say, I am here helping real estate investors to cut their taxes. Who is here real estate investors? They can raise their hand. But if I come and they always share the story of the solopreneur. Who is a solopreneur? Somebody who is doing a business on his own. Who is an entrepreneur? And who is a small business owner?
Yeah, how
And who is a consultant? Okay? So
if
if I go to a consultant,
You don't.
if I go to
It's who do you identify yourself as? He asked the same question 3 different ways. You're going to probably put up your hand for which one?
Yeah,
Which one are you?
I got confused. It's like, okay, small business.
So what are you, though?
Entrepreneur.
You're an entrepreneur. Okay. So you identify with. I identify myself as a small business owner.
What's the difference?
There is no difference.
It's how you define your.
It's who do you perceive yourself to be? He can talk to 3 different people. He can tune out to. He says, "Okay, I want to talk to entrepreneurs right now." You might go, "Well, that's not me." Right? Or solopreneurs. Go, "That's not me. I'm an entrepreneur." Right? So you've automatically identified with a certain speak, although all 3 things mean the same position.
Alright.
The 4 things I said are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Anybody who's a small business owner, he has no other employees with him, or he has subcontractor. He's a solopreneur. Anybody in business for 3 years to 5 years, he most likely is an entrepreneur because he does not have a stable cash flow. That's right. And all consultants downtown, they have this business of their own because oil field for liability issues. That's right.
Yeah.
So I had consultants working with consultants to switch their business after they got laid off. And they said, "Yeah, our companies, we want to revive it, but we don't know it's sure." So we are a business owner. I said, No, we are a consultant. No, you are a business owner. Because you have a business. They don't know, we are a consultant. So one tip here, if you stand in this position, want to sell these people, I start my presentation saying, who is a solopreneur, who is an entrepreneur, who is a consultant, who is here a small business owner, and who is here an SME, small medium enterprise. These are the 5. And people who raise their hand as a consultant, they must raise their hand in the 4 others. People who are solopreneur, they must raise their hands into at least 4 if they are not consultants. That's right. So I will remove their selected attention by telling them, whatever language I'll use in the future, it means you, because you are one of the 5, and you are all the 5. Do you agree? They said yes. Now this is a consulting point. Let's just talk now. So what I said, it describes somebody who has a company providing consultations for an oil and gas company and having a cash flow and paying taxes, and he has a corporation to run his business. Full stop. And he has nobody else. This is the 5 I mentioned, but people don't identify themselves this way. So the consultant, solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business owner, SME, small medium enterprise. The 5 are relevant, but people will not raise their hands. And do this exercise. Go with your friends who you know they are consultant and they have consultation companies because they want to offset liabilities, and ask them, are you a business owner? They will tell you no. I'm not a small business owner. I'm a consultant. Do you have a company? Yes. So are you a small business owner? No.
No, I'm a real estate investor.
It's the same thing for real estate investment.
Yeah. Are you an entrepreneur? No, I'm a real estate investor.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we have to be careful that we use their language. When we talk about the quadrant and which language they are willing to tune their ears to and their eyes to, you have to use their language. Otherwise, you are not, you are different as well.
Yep.
Can you now summarize what pain points that you are the only one who can serve? Wow. What pain points that you are the only one who can serve? Remember, we have the trees on pain point. We have the quadrants on pain points. And how you can be the only one who can serve. Because you can put out your benefits when you serve these pain points. If you come and say, oh, but all consultants can do the same. I use Sigma Delta and all consultants, they use the same. We have Agile. What's that called? Sigma Delta, Agile, and what other design techniques for project management?
I don't know. ISO?
Yeah, so people say like,
ISO 6 Sigma.
yeah, and so you have the Six Sigma, you have the Agile approach. Okay, you know what? It's not the Agile approach what will get you there. What will get you there is the special project where you apply Agile techniques
Get the results.
and get the results. And the results are wow enough that you are the only one who can do it. Do you get the point? So after this exercise, you should be able to answer this. And the other question, why I am...
Hang on, let's not jump to that one. What pain points? So, where do I extract the pain points that only I can serve?
Extracting them will come from page 5 and page 7, because this is where we talk about pain points as trees and as quadrants.
Yeah, but I screwed that up.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You can do part of it. So this will be the pain point that you are the only one who can serve.
Page 5 and 7.
Yep,
Oh, 5, yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Now I am the only one. There is no on here on this and extra. I am the only one. Why I am the only one who can serve these pain points. And here you will talk about your benefits. That's right.
From page 4.
Yep, you'll talk about your from page 4 and page whatever, and page
6. Page 6.
and page 8. Page
6.
from page 6 and page 8.
Page 8 too?
Yeah, because page 8, remember, we have the time for the benefits. That's right.
Oh, okay. 4, 6, and 8.
That's right.
So when you go, who are my customers? You didn't like the language that I used.
It's very generic. I like if you have real estate investors. I like if you have technology companies. I like if you have trade like carpenter,
Trades, yeah.
like carpenters. Like when you be customer specific,
Okay. So trades.
and in trades also you should be able to say like which trades,
Consultants.
like builders, like
Real estate
carpenters, like
investors,
drywallers, like
welders.
yeah. So once you extract it in this way, you will find yourself writing down, yeah, you know what, I work out with 200 welders to weld the bridge. It makes sense? Do you guys see how it morphs from an exploration exercise to outreach? Any questions so far?
How
So
can I-
how can I serve my clients?
I'm not getting there yet. Any questions so far? So what we did is we start from you documenting what authority do you have based on 3 questions. Then we went into detailed exploration of different trigger points related. And then we went on a time journey of a tree structure. And then we start to ask different questions. Questions about pain and benefit, and why they join, pain and benefit, why they join. To work out your memory or your background to extract relevant information. Then we take this relevant authority, we validate it with our customers, and then we put it out in our social media, in our reports, in whatever, in our bio. This is what we are. And we come and say, okay, where the feedback should come from, it should come from our customers. So do you have any questions on this process? Do you have your assignment of how you can extract it? The last question, which is how can I serve my customers, it leads to the next workshop in 2 weeks from now, which is your program. So how do I serve my customers? What kind of format I will serve my customers? I'm serving my customers as employee, as a consultant, as a contractor, as a service provider with packages. Like, do they come to you and buy packages? Or do they come to you and buy hours? Do they come to you and buy workshops and seminars and one-on-one? Or they come and buy your book and they do it themselves? So we usually don't have a clarity of how are we serving our customers. So quite often when we find somebody, oh, so what you do? I do this, and I work with these people. That's great. What can I buy from you? I don't know, whatever you want. Okay. You cannot have this answer. You must say, what are you serving? Remember when you told me about the future trip you have in the Middle East for the show? I told you what? Are they interviewing you for a position to be employee, or you are coming as a consultant, or are you coming as a trainer from here, or are you coming as in-house contractor? You cannot go for meeting people for a trip which will cost about $7,000 to $10,000 to meet them because there is a potential without understanding how the relationship will be. Because if you go as an employee, it's a different arrangement than you go as a consultant. It's a different arrangement if you go as a local contractor, which means you have to reside over there. It's a different arrangement where you can basically get the work, do it here and send it over, and to go for every month or two for like 1 week over there for a visit. These are 4 different relationships. You should be able to tell them, this is how you deal with me. What bugs me is when we have these presentations and people having jobs say, oh, we are now just consultant, or we have a contracting jobs till we found a position. I will not hire her for anything. Like I had somebody, I need someone to do some work for websites development, and I had the fellow in front of me, and I know he's good. But the minute he said, yeah, I'm doing this IT work right now, till I applied to this other position because I need to find a full-time job in an oil company again, I basically did not give him the offer, because I don't want to depend on a consultant or subcontractor for me to serve my customers, and guess what, in 2 weeks will happen.
Yeah, he got an offer.
And he got an offer, so what he will do?
Yeah,
He just basically skip on me.
where's your
Right?
job?
So he will cause me more problems than what I have. So this will lead, like, you need to brainstorm about how can I serve my customers. So I know in Mariana case, she said that she do like a strategy session or a discovery session for free or complimentary, and then they will come to her on one-on-one sessions, or they will come to her in a workshop. That's right. So if you go and say, Mariana, can I hire you full-time for my company? She will say, no, I don't do that. You can come to my workshops. People come to me and say, can we hire you? I said, no, you cannot hire me. I can train your people, I can work with you one-on-one, but you cannot hire me, full stop. I'm not for hire. You want to get value, you can attend my workshops, you can attend my seminars, this is how you pay me, but I'm not available for a full-time position in your organization. Because I have obligations, and this is the way I want to run my business. That's why this question is here. So next time, we will talk about win your program. This was win your authority. The next time will be win your program. There are only 8 or 9 versions of a program you can do. One of them you can be an employee. But there are other programs you can do if you don't want to be an employee. So what we will discuss next time is basically what are the different programs and what do you need to sustain one of these programs. What kind of skills you have, what kind of websites do you need? Do you need books? Do you need audio, video, whatever you need? So this will be the next one. That's why this question is here.
It's a teaser.
It's not a teaser, it's just the way I see these workshops, they are independently serving the whole message. So you want to come next time, you can. If you don't want to come next time, it's okay too, but you now understand that if I have this authority, if this is what I do, I will serve these customers. I'm the only one who can provide this service, and these are the reasons why I'm the only one, and they accept it because they verified my authority. Now, how can you serve them? Majority of the time will say, oh, you know what, no, it's okay, whatever they want me, get me in. You can't. You cannot walk to an interview and you don't know they need a consultant or they need an employee or they need a contractor. Because there's difference between the 3. That's right. Contractor will be full-time, consultant will be on demand, and the employee will come here 8 to 5 every day. Or 8 to 5 every day. 9 to 5, whatever number. You cannot come and say, I'm doing these workshops, and you don't say, tell people, I can heal you. Okay, so how can you heal me? Is it one-on-one sessions? Is it hourly rate? Is it a package? Is it 6 months engagement? Is it 3 months engagement? If you don't know how are you serving your customers, you should not approach your customers because you are confusing them. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so if it any other questions? And the last line, which is for people who have been in the program before, they will understand, is the last line. It should be the staging mechanism from general to lead to prospects to client to customers to upselling customers to referral customers to retired customers. This will be something we'll discuss later to show you, like, you have to carry different message for different people at different stage of engagement. So if you identifying your customer with the dollar sign, this will be people who are paying you. You can also have clients. Clients will be people who can take your service without a pay because they want to sign up. So Mariana gave you a good example. She runs a session 45 minutes or discovery session where people get all the value, and then she will sell them a workshop or a one-on-one, and she will only sell them one. A lead and the prospects will be when you come and say, who is here interested, and you have a dialogue with them, will be prospects. Audience and target audience will be the people who they should listen to you to come as a customer. So if you start from the customer pain point identification, you can go back and figure out where your general will hang around so you can get them. And this will be structured around how you can stretch your authority and how you not. Okay, any more questions for me?
Well, why am I the only one who can serve?
Sorry?
Why am I the only one who can serve?
You are the only one who you can serve because you are the only one who did this before for other people.
Who?
You are the only one who did the same service for others.
So why is Mike the only one who can do this?
Because he did it for other people as well.
Uh-huh.
That's it. So when you go through the exercise, you'll identify spots where is only me. I was the only one running this project. I was the only one working with these customers and made them winning $7,000. Nobody else can get them saved $7,000.
So this would come from the exercise where we dig and get the wow factor.
Yes?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. So we always have this question on the, what they call it, the question about personality in the interviews, like this question in the interviews about situations and what you will do here, and then you'll find like I had somebody who was telling me, like, for a cleaning job or for a very low entry job, they have all of these interviews and all of these meetings and all of these quality questions about personality and how he will do it here and what will happen here, and all these situation analysis questions which has no rationale to the actual job. The point is, okay, I lost my trail of thought. So when people ask these questions, they don't know what do you expect from you. So they want you to tell them, oh, this is a personality question, this is how you think, and then you find the job does not carry. Why they do that? Because nobody came from the wow factor and said, okay, here's what I'm doing, here's what can I do for you. If you approach them with a proposal or a discussion which is, this is the wow factor, you will find the barrier to entries will be much easier. It's less difficult. And you can always write these authorities inside cover letters. You can always write it on your website. You can always write it in proposals. If you are in the business of presentations, you will have it in your presentation. That's right. When you talk about who you are and what's your journey. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, any other questions or comments? So, can we go through the closing part, which is basically what did you learn today? How can you apply it in your life? Okay, what did you learn of today? Why it's important and how can you apply it? And we start with Yasser. What will stand out for you? What did you learn? why it's important for you to learn this, and how will you apply it?
I will just start from where we ended. This is I think is the value is what pain points that I'm the only one who can serve, and why I'm the only one. I think the exercise helped to define and articulate this, put this into words, get some clarity on what I have done before and how to get the wow factor out of it, and I think this would help very much in shaping business, the relationships, how to steer all the coming opportunities in the right way, with no confusion. So it will bring some clarity and focus.
And how will you use this?
So this would definitely be part of the communication. I mean, it got to be in the daily communication. We've been chatting about this over lunch. It got to be practiced all the time. The good thing about that, even though it looks a bit tough, but the good thing is it's applicable 24/7. So in the personal relationship, in a business relationship, in friends relationship, so it got to be applied all the time.
And this is what I mean. It was my business name. Win your brand. You are the brand. We are the promise. And to win your promise, you are the promise all the time. So one more thing here also to reflect on what you said, and I highly appreciate what you say. If you understand what pain point you are the only one who can serve, you will bypass all pain points which is everybody else can serve. So if I want to come and say, I will charge you the premium, which nobody else can charge you the premium. You know why? Because if you take Mike will solve this pain point. But this particular ones, I'm the only one who can solve it. So I will not compete on a lower level pain point solutions. I will only compete where I am the best, where I am the only one. I'm the only one who are able to raise that much grants. And when people go around and say, okay, can you join my company? No, I'm not. I'm joining only specific. Why? Because this is where I am the only one who can serve. And to Mariana's point, there may be some other people, but can I justify I'm the only one? So you can use this in two ways. One is you should use this everywhere. Like if you want to talk to your spouse, can you do this exercise and share with her why you are the best spouse ever? Because you always remind her, I took you here, I took you to Disney, we did this, we did this, we did this. If you keep reminding them at a personal level, you will increase their satisfactions all the time. Because when they go out and see these people having different experience, they always forget about their own experience, which may be better, but they always forget because this is a fresh experience. They come, oh, why we did not go this year? Oh, you know what? We remember that we went this, we went this, we went this. Yeah. I don't know, but I appreciate it. Mariana, so what's the things which you learned today, why it's important for you, and how we can use it?
Well, it really deepens my understanding of the pain points and the benefits. And, I really saw a lot of wow factors in what I'm doing. At the same time, I'm still struggling a little bit with how I bring that over to other people. So I have to do some more work on that. So.
But you are the only Psyche instructor in Western Canada.
Yeah.
So if I want
in east of the Rockies.
In the east of the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
So why you are the only one who can serve? Because you also are the only physical one.
Yeah.
In east of the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
Which is in Alberta province.
That will do the wow factor.
This will do it. Yeah, this will do the wow factor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's right. This is part of the wow factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the only wow factor, but if I come and say 160 plus or 200 plus workshops and seminars over the years, healings a few thousand people over the years. And I work with actually one fellow who had he had like the third energy book written ever. So he had a book like 2004, where nobody will appreciate this in 2004. work with people who have been sharing stages with Alan Lipton's and different people, and this was the wow factor. Is they were on stages with these people. This is the wow factor. So do you want to deal with somebody in this area without paying the premium to these other people? He's the wow factor. So yeah, that was good. Love it. Okay, Mike. So
I think it's interesting that I dig into my accomplishments and kind of, instead of just kind of suppressing them all, kind of drawing upon them to create that authority within myself and what I've done. Because sometimes you think, oh, I just got to lead a normal life, right? And then someone goes, what? You did that? What? You did that?
I didn't know about the award. I know you for more than a year now.
You didn't know? Oh.
No, I didn't know about the award.
It's even on the website. Yeah.
It was not. There was no photo. It was not.
Yeah, it's there. It's still there.
I don't know.
Yeah. So.
So you are an award winning, because I was dealing with the.
And I'm a best-selling author too. Right?
And I know about best-selling author, but I don't know about the award. And I was dealing with Dee. She was on the stage. I was on the stage, and she came. She introduced me, and she said, "I didn't even. This guy has 76 awards plus, and I didn't even have a single award." So I was like, and she's your Holistic Earth organizer. So she's the owner of the whole 600 people serving her, and like, yeah, I said, like, I will give you an award. I will make my best to give you to get you an award, so you don't feel bad. And everybody in the 2 days event, they always remember me. That I'm the only one who promised her to have an award. And I have just have a big heart. And they came to me. They asked me, how can I help? How can I help me? And how can I help them because of that stuff. And how are you using this mic in your life now?
I'm just kind of vocalizing it right now. It's not really printed or manifested any other way than just vocalizing it one-on-one.
Okay.
Like people come in my office, they see my book, they look online, they see Google reviews. So some of them have an awareness, some of them don't. Some of them get that an awareness in our meeting.
Okay.
And my past experience. So yeah.
That's good if you use it. Okay, that's good. Any last comments, guys?
No, it's quite an eye-opener. Very interesting.
Thank you. And we have a Saturday event as well. So.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.